Lewis, I'm dropping calories, but I'm not losing any weight. I've heard this hundreds of times. I'm in a calorie deficit, but I'm not losing weight. First things first, you're not in a calorie deficit if you're not losing weight. And I'm going to explain to you now why. Why you're dropping calories and not getting the results that you want. Now, the first point I want to make is that when you drop calories, you're essentially starving your body. And your body doesn't want to be starved. It's conditioned. It's a very complex, complicated organism that is designed to stay alive. So when you drop calories, it's going to have some kind of defense process in place to stop you losing body fat. Because you've got to remember, your body doesn't think, oh, I want to lose weight so I feel better in a swimming costume. Your body's thinking, he's trying to lose weight. Maybe there's no food available. We need to try and keep her alive. Okay, so let's fight back. So what it does is when you start reducing calories, is your body will automatically down-regulate its energy output. So basically what that means is you will do less exercise. You will move less. You'll spend more time sat down. So that, yes, you're dropping calories. You were in a calorie deficit for maybe a day or whatever, however long. Your body then has fought back and has reduced its exercise to bring down the amount of calories it actually needs to then level the playing field so you're no longer in a deficit. So you've got to make sure that when you're tracking your nutrition and dropping calories, that you're also tracking your exercise, i.e. steps, and make sure that they aren't dropping as well, because the chances are they are. The second way that your body kind of defends against a calorie deficit, as well as reducing its overall energy expenditure through exercise, it also reduces the amount of calories that you need to actually function as a human being, to do what human beings need to do: digest food, breathe, pump blood around the body, produce hormones, that sort of thing, brain function. So what your body does is it just reduces all of that. We have something called your basal metabolic rate, which is basically the amount of calories that you need to live. Okay, so say you're in a coma, it's how many calories you would need to stay alive. Doing no exercise, eating nothing, whatever, just laying there still, how many calories you would need. And so your body will reduce that. About 60 to 70% of your overall daily expenditure comes from your BMR. So if you go into a 30% calorie deficit, that's an extreme calorie deficit, your body will then just down-regulate BMR by the same. Okay, and that means it's sacrificing the efficiency of your body. So it doesn't digest food as well, brain function is inhibited, hormone function is inhibited, or hormone production, sorry, is inhibited. And that's why when women go into extreme deficits and stay there, they can lose their period and ultimately become infertile. That's just one example. That's why when you're in an extreme calorie deficit, people training for bodybuilding shows, they have, they're irritable, their brain function isn't optimal, brain fog, they can't think, they lose their memory. All these things is because your body is down-regulating. It's normal optimal procedures that require calories is reducing them to fight back against this extreme deficit that you're going into. So how do you combat both of those things? So the first one is when you drop calories, you also want to monitor your daily steps and make sure that as you reduce your calorie input, you don't reduce your calorie output. Otherwise, the playing field will level and you won't be in a deficit. And then what you'll do is you'll start dropping your calories even more extremely. And then the second problem happens, which is where your BMR is reduced. So what you've got to do is you've got to be consistent with the calorie deficit, maintain your calories, track your steps, maintain both of those variables, track the output for at least 2 weeks to see what happens. And make sure that you're just in a moderate calorie deficit and tracking both of those things. That is why you're dropping calories and not losing weight, and how to actually combat that.